Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and the workshop even. Today I'm going to be taking a look at this little tiny adjustable wrench. To give you some idea of scale, here it is underneath a 10-inch adjustable wrench. By my measure, this little adjustable wrench is 67.3 millimeters long. The dimension from here to here, you're looking at 20.3, 6.4 millimeters wide just here. The little roller here is 6.6 mm diameter, and the maximum opening here is 10.7 millimeters. Pop him on the scales. Half an ounce or 16 grams. And yes, it does actually work, guys. Look, you can turn the little roller and it will close and open too. Pretty good. It does actually work, and I think it's from what I read on the description, it's made from high carbon steel, so it's not a piece of you know, alloy junk at all. It's quite a nice little bit of kit actually. I purchased mine from Bangood. Only cost me a couple of quid, £2, and it comes with this little chain attached to it. But personally, if you want to carry it on a keyring, I think I would attach it to a keyring proper. It appears to be quite nicely finished, nicely machined at the front here. They've taken off all of the drop forging marks. I can't see any marks there, you know, moulding or drop forging marks at all. It runs quite nicely. You might want to put a drop of oil onto it. The pin is actually a captive floating pin in there. You can't take that out, so you can't actually take the little adjustable wrench apart. Not too much of a big deal, I don't think. It would look quite nice hanging on your keyring, but the question is, does it actually work? Can you actually use it? Normally I would use my late father's little vise here to do our any spanner tests, but today I'm going to be using another one of my late father's vices, and that is this little 30mm vice here. I've mounted the mini vice in the small vice, so let's see how we get on. And we'll start with this teeny tiny M2 nut and bolt here. Now I think we can just about see here that the nut is loose, so let's just turn it down to the washer, get down there like so, and get the little tiny micro adjustable wrench onto it, snug it up a little bit like so, and see if we can apply some torque, see what happens. Here we go. Get it tightened up, get it on there properly. I've got my glasses on, guys, so I can just about see what I'm doing. Right, there we go. It's a bit fiddly. In fact, it's very fiddly. But you can tighten it up. There we go. It's not going anywhere now. Can we get it undone? Yep, we can. There we go. Right, let's step it up a little bit, shall we, guys? I've got this M5 nut and bolt in the tiny vise here. Normally you would need an 8mm spanner to tighten it up. There it is, nice and tight. The vice doesn't like it at all. Okay, as the tiny vice was flexing away there when we were trying out the M5, I've put it into the vice proper this time. Anyway, we'll get back to the 8mm spanner and tighten it up. And we can actually get some torque on it, as you can see. So pop that just there, and we'll get the little micro wrench onto it, tighten him up a bit. See how much torque we can apply with a micro wrench. Right, there we go, tighten him up a bit. Got to make sure this one's tight because it's quite loose actually. Right in. That's a fair amount of torque applied there. That's quite good. There we go. It's got enough. What I mean by loose, it's you got a little bit of a, as you can see, a little bit of slop going on here. I don't know if you can see that, but it does actually slop up and down a little bit. because it's only like, you know, it's not the most precise tool in the world. Let's step things up to this much larger M6 and see what it can do with that. 10mm spanner normally required for this sort of thing. There we go. As you can see, we can apply quite a fair amount of torque with a proper spanner. Let's try the little tiny micro adjustable wrench. See what we can do with that. Get it snugged up onto the nut. And we are away, guys. Here we go. You're not going to be able to apply a huge amount of torque, because I think you might actually break the little wrench. Don't particularly want to do that because it's you know, I want it as part of my collection. But there we go. That's tightened it up fairly well. What does it take to shift it with the proper spanner? Yeah, it's not too much there. You can't get as much torque as you would like to, I don't think, but there we go. At a pinch, you can do up this nut and bolt here. Oh, blimey. So yes, you can actually use this teensy weensy little adjustable wrench here. It does work. I'd say the jaws are a bit sloppy, but you know, what do you expect for such a tiny little tool? And of course it's not that expensive either. It just cost me a couple of quid. As I say, I purchased it myself from Bangood. Here it is next to my 6-inch adjustable wrench. Makes it look huge. You know, the 6-inch wrench looks like a God knows what size wrench now, doesn't it? Alrighty guys, so yeah, they've seemed to have finished it off quite nicely. You know, you've got a nice finish here. You can see a few grind lines in there. It doesn't look too bad at all. There's a little detailing in the little roller here. It's not too badly finished off. I don't think there's any rough edges to it. All the machining's been taken away. You know, the drop forging. It's got quite a nice little finish, black finish to it, black oxide finish to it. It's not too bad at all actually. I quite like the little thing. It'd be ideal hanging off your keyring. You know, if you want to look different with a different sort of keyring, this would be ideal. You could actually use it to do small nuts and bolts up. You won't be fixing your car with it, obviously. So if you want a very, very small adjustable wrench for your tool kit, just pop along to Bangood and take a look at it. I'll put you some links in the descriptive text below. You can go along and take a look, see what you think. Check out price and availability in your country. As I say, I think it would look quite good on your keyring to carry around. It's better than the cheapo alloy things I've seen about that aren't all that good and you can't actually use them. And at a pinch, you could actually do it to tighten up a small nut and bolt. I say you can only get about, I think it's an M6 in there is the maximum you can get in there. You can't get a awful lot of torque on it, but you could do it up. I think possibly if you used to put too much pressure on the thing, you'd actually break it, but I don't particularly want to do that. I'm not testing this to destruction. It's just, you know, being a toolaholic, I wanted it in my toolbox, and that's where it's going to be living. Alrighty guys, well I hope you enjoyed the review of this little teeny tiny little adjustable wrench, and I hope you'll pop by again for another review in the very near future then. Laters!
Ruff, ruff.